Did I mention I've always felt like a bit of an outsider? Some of that's just my overactive imagination that makes me tend to see things differently than some folks do. Some of it is the need for attention, and some of it is just pure contrarianism. Then there are those things in my life which just happen differently from everyone else. As I tell you my story, there will be moments where you'll say, "Oh yeah, I get it." You'll understand and maybe even relate. At other times, my life is out of order or out of sync with everything. You may find yourself a bit baffled at my ridiculousness. For me, there are moments I still look back on and have to kind of say, did that really happen? Or did I imagine that? Or was it something I dreamt once? I think that's one of the reasons I've always identified so strongly with Billy Pilgrim in Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five. That poor guy got unstuck in time and was randomly landing along different points on the timeline of his own life, always wondering if there really was a place that he really was. I have weird heroes like that. Take Howard Stern, for instance. Some Christian folks would take issue with me admiring a guy like that. Howard was an awkward misfit who turned saying shocking things into not just a career, but it made him the king of all media. To me, that's a no-brainer. He's a guy I can readily identify with. I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, does, or how he lives, but I relate to him on a molecular level. Another hero of mine died when I was 3. He was 26. He was the son of an eminent, wealthy Southern family, and we're talking old money here. Some of his ancestors had loaned George Washington money to form the Continental Army during the American Revolution. That kind of old. He, however, was a trust fund kid who went to private schools and even attended Harvard very briefly. Besides being white, I have nothing in common with this guy, I thought. When he was very young, he got to go to an Elvis Presley concert and he fell in love with Elvis and rock and roll and music. There's a story told in my family, and I'm the subject of it. It comes from early enough in my life that I have little, if any, actual memory of it. I think most of what I have is the product of hearing the story. Apparently, it was my habit for a period of time to leave the dinner table, go into the bathroom, then return with a toilet plunger. I would then suction the business end of the plunger to the kitchen floor and use the handle as a make-believe microphone stand and then perform hound dog for my family. Most estimates would put me at about 3 years old. Graham Parsons would have been 26 and preparing to make his exit. I hate the way that Graham made that exit, albeit in the most far-out, live hard, die young, and leave a good-looking corpse rock star fashion for that period of time, where the 60s collided with the 70s. Graham had a vision for an American music beyond style and genre, and I love that. He called it cosmic music, the blending of any and all styles, no walls of restriction or unneeded or artificial barriers. Graham and his vision were sometimes hated, but most of the time just unappreciated. The lack of appreciation, affirmation, and understanding led to his chronic need to medicate. I can definitely relate to that. I hear that hurt and longing in his voice when I listen to his music. Won't somebody please make me feel loved? Won't somebody please love me? God is love. His love is bigger and better than anything this world tries to pawn off on us, or that we try to satisfy that longing with for ourselves. The Bible says that God's love is better than life. Cosmic love, man. Far out.